Now, our boss called us, and she was like, you know what? Y'all need to get this guy up there. He's off the chain. And I went to your Instagram. Tell everybody your Instagram.
Weather Adam.
And it's so off the chain. He got over 450,000 followers.
Right.
We need you to do something today.
What are some of your favorite songs that you've done?
I've done probably like 150 by now. So to think of the list, yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. I mean, I've done Houston. I've done Lizzo and Beyonce. You guys were talking about Michael Jackson earlier. I did Michael Jackson. Yeah.
Speaking of Beyonce and Michael Jackson, who is the king of the Virgos to you, or queen?
Michael Jackson to me. You don't even have to put Virgos. You could just say like the king of like humanity, man. Like, Michael Jackson. Gosh. Yeah. I mean, Beyonce obviously legend, right? But Michael Jackson's just up there for me.
Right. So you did the weather with, I want to say Coolio. Is that one of the ones that you did too?
I did, yeah.
The Gangsta's Paradise.
Yes, that was a recent big one, Gangsta's Paradise. The Coolio account, which obviously he passed last year, but the account actually shared that, which I thought was pretty cool.
Wow.
And that's been a cool thing for me, is a lot of the artists that I'm doing have been sharing my stuff. Like Snoop Dogg shared one that I did of his, which was a big moment for me. I thought that was amazing. Like Lil Jon, Yin Yang Twins. They're all, yeah, really
do you
cool.
remember those off the top of your head, or do you write them? How do you figure that out?
My method is mostly like the night before I'll be in bed and I should be sleeping, but instead I'm scrolling on my phone and I'm like, okay, I think I got the song I could do the next day, and it kind of works with the weather, and then I kind of figure it out over the course of our morning show. So we have a nice long morning show at CW39 like you guys have here. So
Okay, tell me, how does one start experimenting with the weather like that? When was the first time you ever experimented with the weather, and did your bosses like it?
This is funny. Yeah, so last year, I don't know if you guys played Wordle. It was the word guessing game. Okay, so and we were doing that at work, and we kind of had an inside joke at work because some of us would play it and others hadn't played it yet.
Right.
And we had to think of a creative way to like talk to each other about the game without actually saying the word out loud. And just to like mess with some of my coworkers, I would say the Wordle word in the weather. And I started doing that every single day, and I started making videos online showing, here's the word, I'm going to sneak it in the weather no matter what the word is, no matter how crazy it is. So I started doing that. So it's just a word. And then the people online, my followers, were the ones that steered it into what it is now, which is, you know, they started suggesting song lyrics and movies and stuff like that. So that was never my plan, but
like a freestyle, like, you know,
a little bit.
Put in the word and make a song out the word.
Yes.
We're gonna have to try some later. Now, I see that you're married. Right. Do you have kids?
Yeah, I do. I got 2 kids.
How do your kids feel about their dad, this dancing weatherman?
I'm not dancing. I'll say that.
Rapping.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I throw they love it. It's funny because a lot of I like old school hip hop.
Right.
So they don't know a lot of that stuff. So I try to mix in some newer things also, and also some stuff that they might know, like the game Among Us, which is really big with my kids. They play that app game. I did some of that, like words and phrases from Among Us, and so I kind of am all over the spectrum. Mostly though, rap and hip hop is my favorite.
Can you give us a little sample? You can hear the Gangsta's Paradise in the background.
Oh my goodness!
Again. But just so people can understand how and what it is that you do, I want to give them that little sample if you could do this.
Okay, so I'm thinking of the Gangsta's Paradise one I did, and this was, you guys know Death Valley, California,
right?
Yeah.
So they had a really big heat wave, and so that was my hook to get into the walk through the Valley of the Shadow of Death. So I showed the temperature there was like 120 degrees. I said if you want to know what 120 feels like, that would be in Death Valley, also known as like walking through the shadow of the Valley of Death or something like that. It came out better when I actually did it on air.
Right.
But I try to like tie it into the weather. So it's, you know, I'm still kind of, I would say I'm being professional still on air.
Yes.
And my hope is that if people are watching and they don't know what the heck I'm doing, that it still sounds like a pretty normal weather broadcast. So that's priority number 1. And then priority number 2 is try to make it a fun video for social media.
I don't know if you've done this one yet, but if you haven't, you need to. So I need you to do Nelly Hot in Here. We've been in the triple digits for like the past month.
Right.
So you got to do Nelly Hot in Here.
That's a request.
I did Nelly Hot in Here. I'll share that with you guys. No, that was a really popular one that had like millions of views.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna put one of those on 97.9 The Box's Instagram.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
We're gonna do that, and so everybody can go to 97.9 The Box's Instagram. Yeah. Right after the break, we'll put it up.
Okay. And by the way, I came here right from work, and the one I did today is the Rob Bass. It takes 2. Like it takes 2 to make a thing.
Come on now. We know he's saying it like Rob Bass. It takes 2. Like just in case y'all don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Me and Jessica, we do know.
Yeah.
Are you gonna smoke choke me out like that? What?
So I did that this morning. That video will be up later this afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. We're still doing Virgo season right now.
Yeah, more with Adam Kruger.
All right, come on, 7 the vibes.
Good morning, H-Town.
Cool. So we're-
Good, man.
All right, cool.
We'll do another